good day. So I wanted to get on here really quickly and I wanted to share with you guys the reasons I see most people not reaching their health goals, whatever that goal may be. For some people, that is simply to lose weight or to improve blood work. The markers on that blood work. A lot of people want to gain weight, gain muscle, bulk, and then of course sports performance. That's another big area, whether they're competitive or just for fun. So those are the areas I see a lot of people when they are talking about improving their health. They want to do that for whatever reason it may be. But I also see a lot of reasons to why. Yeah, a lot of people are not reaching the goals that they want to reach. And there's two big factors to that. The first one is consistency. I see a lot of people who struggle with the consistency in many dimensions of their health. And that can be everything from nutrition, it can be things from working out and your training to your recovery to your sleep. There is so many aspects that actually involve health that it is way more than just the vanity side of things. So the first thing is like nutrition. You hear that people talk about it all the time. Nutrition is the key. Nutrition is number one. It needs to be in check to live longer, to lose weight, to gain weight, whatever you want to do. If you want to optimize your health and function properly, the way that you fuel your body is extremely important in how you do it. And there's so many ways and so many methods, and everybody is so unique. So that's the thing, not everybody has to do the same thing. But the thing is, most people are not being consistent with the food that they're eating, the time frame they're eating it in, and how they're eating it, as they're not using any kind of method to measure their food. And you don't have to use a digital scale to measure your food. That is one way you can track your food, and it is one of the most accurate ways you can. But you can use the hand portion method. If you struggle with that and you still don't see consistency, you can move to measuring cups. You can use, again, the digital scale, which will be the most accurate, but there is never anything that's 100% accurate. There's things that I had made a post about called a portion control bowl for one pot meals. As a nutrition and health coach, I teach my clients a lot of these different methods that they can use. But the big thing is most people are not being consistent about the food that they're eating regarding the amount of calories and macros that they're putting in there. If you're somebody who really wants to tailor in and recomp or lose weight, there's certain things that do matter. You don't have to be obsessive and you don't have to track every little thing as far as using a macro calculator. If you're being consistent with weighing your food out, if you're being consistent with the amounts that you're eating, you don't have to use 50 different methods to get to the results that you want. And as a coach, I teach people that. But there's more than one way to get there. But the biggest thing is you're not being consistent with the food that you're putting into your body. Most people severely actually undereat when it comes to both losing and gaining weight. People will eat really restrictively and then they binge for a while, which is another area of coaching that I work in as far as healing that relationship with food, because I had my own struggle with that. So you're not being consistent with the food intake, and a lot of times people are also not being consistent with their workouts. I hate to say it, but when you go to the gym for 3 days this week, 6 days this week, and you're just back and forth, especially if the goal is sports performance or the goal is to actually put on muscle, the workouts are going to be essentially just as important. I'm not saying you have to go in there and train like a mad person, but the consistency of your workouts and the style of training can also impact you. If you're somebody who's severely inflamed, this is just a little piece of advice. If you are really inflamed and you want to reduce inflammation both through your nutrition and through your training, but you're training at high intensity levels of training, interval training, that may not be the best option for you. You may need to tone it down, go back to just simple resistance training and some LISS type training, some walking, low impact. So that's another thing. We're just not being consistent. We're bouncing everywhere with workouts. We're not on a plan. And don't get me wrong, I love to go in the gym and just freestyle sometimes. But a lot of times I'm just kind of more in the maintenance area at this point in my life. But we're not being consistent with our workouts, and we're not being consistent with our food. And then again, we can go into so many other things, not being consistent with sleep, not being consistent with a lot of healthy habits. We're not being consistent with our time and our time management. And so consistency is the big thing, because I always tell people that perfection is not possible. We cannot be perfect. I am a Christian health coach, and I always tell people that perfection is not something we can attain. We fall short to the glory of God all the time. So that also means that we shouldn't chase perfection, but we should start looking at the consistency of our habits. Consistency over the next point, which is time. You do not give yourself enough time to reach the goals that you want to reach. So consistency over a long period of time is what's really going to help you get to where you want to be. Most people want a fast track to whatever their goal is: lose weight, gain weight, sports performance, and improved markers on their blood work. But I hate to tell you, it doesn't work like that. We have to give ourselves an allotted time frame to reach the goal that we want. And one method I always tell people when it comes to reaching your goals, and I did a Wellness Wednesday on this, and I'll do another video on this one sometime, is just breaking down your habits into smaller mini habits. That is going to be one of the best routes and things that you can do in order to reach the goals that you want, is take that habit, break it down into a smaller habit. And I can do another video on that, or I can do a free Zoom class for that as well if anybody would be interested. But breaking your habits down into smaller habits over a period of time will help you in the long run with the consistency of the time frame and the window. We have to look at the big goal and put it down into a time frame, but we must be realistic. And most people realistically do not give themselves enough time to reach the goal that they want to reach, which in returns creates a lot of returning bad habits and things like that. So again, there's so many areas that I could go into to reasons to why you're not reaching the goals that you want. But the two basic goals where I start with a lot of my clients is you're either the consistency aspect or in the time frame aspect. So we can look at lack of recovery, lack of sleep, lack of hydration. Again, there is so much, but the consistency in the daily habits that you're doing, from your sleep, your food, especially your food and your workouts, but then also to giving yourself enough time. So consistency over a long period of time is how you will reach your health goals and results. And keeping things simple, changing one thing at a time, not looking at the big picture and trying to be super complex and changing everything at once. If you change everything at once, you're not going to know what's working. So change one thing at a time and give yourself a long period of time and be consistent with it. Consistency does not mean you're going to be 90% consistent. Maybe your consistency rate is going to start at 50%, and then it's going to go up to 60%. So regardless, consistency and time. That's the two big reasons why I see a lot of people not reaching their goals. If you found this video interesting, I'm going to put a whole lot more out. I have coaching available for both group coaching coming up, available February 19th. Registration is open for that on my website. For more information, you can DM me, send me a message, any way you'd like. But the website is balancedpathchc.com. I have a few one-on-one client openings available, and I do accept one-time coaching calls to go over things like this to help you come up with a plan to optimize your health in whatever area you're looking at, whether it be mindset, movement, nutrition, training plans, a nutrition plan that's a base level. So regardless, whatever the need is, I'm one of those people. I'm well-rounded. I love all aspects of health to optimize that, and a lot of that is due to my own story. And you can look at that on my website as well under the About Me section. So you guys have a wonderful day. I know this video is a little long, but I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you'll take some of these tips and start applying it to your life. I will go into more detail later on between the habit change process, the consistency idea, and the time frame stuff. So you guys have a great day.